Hello, my name's Maria and you're watching the Richardson Simple Living. Today's Friday, tea and chat. So I'm going to make my cup of tea. So while I'm making mine, if you'd like to make yourself a drink as well, then we can sit down and chat. So I'm going to do my normal. Oh, I put my tea bag in. I was going to put another tea bag in, then I've forgotten. I'd already put one in ready. So I hope you can hear me all right because the washer's on. Right, see my kettle, got it set. Off we go. The milk wasn't left here today. I just asked Dean if he'd fetch it up for me. So, yeah, it was in the fridge. We're going to go back in the living room again like we did last week because I've got the washer on and you won't hear me very well with the noise of the washer, and it makes a grating sound. The microphone seems to pick up a grating sound sometimes when the washer's on, so we'll go in the other room because I think that sounded all right last week. Probably a bit noisy at the minute because I'm near the kettle and that's probably picking up noise interference, but it's only while we make our cup of tea. So I thought what we'll talk about today, I've been asked actually about how me and Dean met. I think I did answer that once before. I've been asked that before, but there's probably some of you who've not seen that or don't know, so I'll just go over that. And also I'll tell you about how Dean proposed to me, because as far as I can remember, I have not ever covered that one before. And then there'll be a few other questions on the list we'll go through and we'll learn more about me. I'm learning about myself as well actually while I'm doing it. And I love having all your comments and you tell me things as well. It's nice. It's like a way of getting to know each other, isn't it? And it's just relaxing just to sit and chat and, you know, get to know each other. Right, so that's ready. I'm going to take the milk back down here. I'll take you with me. Saves me unattaching myself from the wire. Do you know, I'm always saying about this wire and the microphone, and that I need to sort out a wireless free one. Well, I have got one and it worked on my other phone, but my other phone is not very good now for filming on. I think I've worn it out. So yeah, and it doesn't work. They don't work on this phone. I got this other phone ready just for filming, really. I don't use it for anything else, but my microphone doesn't work on it, which is a shame because it's got like 2 speakers to it, and that'd be ideal. You know, when we do the sandwich testing, it'd be ideal then if I could use that one as well, because Dean could have a microphone as well, but I can't seem to get it to work. I don't know why, and I'm not technical. Far from it. More likely to blow things up than I am to get them working. Right, are we level? We've got my cup of tea. Let's just bring it over. There we go. In fact, I'll put it in front of me and just open, don't knock it over, because I'm quite clumsy. Glasses, swap over glasses. It's a bit of a pain having these 2 sets of glasses, but they did offer me these bifocals. But I thought, oh no, I don't think I could sort of look at the top, which is long range, and look down, which is closer range. I thought between doing the 2, I would probably just fall over. I've got a hair now tickling me. Yeah, I'd probably feel drunk and fall over because I thought, how do you adapt between the 2? So, and if you're walking along, you know, and you look down at the pavement, suddenly the vision will change and it just wouldn't be right. I couldn't do that. I think I'd be falling over all the time and people would be thinking I'm drunk. It'd probably look like that actually because the focus wouldn't be right. Anyway, here we are, all ready. So, have you all got your drinks ready? If you're having one, that is. So we're going to start on some more questions. It's nice to have these little chats. I enjoy these chats because I remember things I've long since forgotten. And like I say, I learn things about you as well. You tell me stories and I love hearing them. So yeah. So we're going to start today with some of the latest questions actually. I mean, I've been adding them to the back of the list, but I'm going to do some of the latest ones I've been asked because over Easter and people have been asking me questions. I've forgotten to write them down and I'm not sure whether I've missed some somewhere, but we'll see over the coming weeks. If you ever have a question you think, oh, she's not answered my question, just ask me again, I'll check if it's on the list. I've got a bit behind. But anyway, I'm going to start with how me and Dean met. I'll just go briefly because I have said about it before. But me and Dean met. We used to be part of this reenactment society. So it was Civil War period, like Roundheads and the parliamentarians and all that. So we were part of this reenactment society. We were both parliamentarians, and we travelled up and down the country on the weekends doing all these reenactments and things like that. So he was in the same group that I was in. But although, apart from, just speaking like you would to anybody else, there was nothing more between us. But anyway, he came to work where I was working then. This is one of those in-between jobs I had when I was doing some cleaning. And he came to work at the factory that I was cleaning at. And I got to know him better then. We started talking more. And of course, then we were talking about the reenactments and where we were going. Are you going to this one, sort of thing? And so we got chatting more. And then one Friday, you used to get paid weekly in those days, and you got your pay packet, your little brown pay packet, and your money was in it. So we got paid on Friday. And he said to me, do you want to go out for a drink tonight? Do you want to come out with me and go for a drink tonight? And I said, yeah, okay. And we weren't going away that weekend. It went to a reenactment weekend. So I said, yeah, okay. And he gave me money for the taxi because I lived out in the wilds. I was in the countryside. There's no bus route, nothing like that. So he gave me money for a taxi and to meet him. So that's how it's all started, really. That's how we started going out. And yeah, when I met him, we went to this pub, and when I met him, he did ask for his change back from the taxi. So yeah, but that's sort of how we met and how we started going out with each other. And I will tell you about the marriage proposal, if I could call it that. We'd been dating for about a year when he decided that we would get married, and he wanted to get married. So we'd been dating for about a year. Now, when I was 18, I had an 18th birthday party, and it was really good. I enjoyed it and that. So I'd said then, when I'm 21, I'm going to do it again. So I was 20 at this time, so I decided I'm going to book my party for my 21st. So I'd booked the room. Well, it was a hall, village hall. I booked my village hall, booked my disco, and sent out all the invites. I got all the invites and sent them all out. Anyway, after this had happened, Dean said to me, we were walking back one night, and we were on the corner of a road, going to cross the road, stopped to cross the road. And he turned and looked at me and said, cancel your party, we're getting married. That was my wedding proposal. No going down on one knee and no romantic gestures. It wasn't even a full moon or anything like that. No starlight or nothing like that. It was, well, I think it was sort of a winter time, something like that. It was dark nights, and he just turned around and said, cancel your party, we're going to get married. So I just looked and went, okay then. And that was how it went. So I did. I cancelled the date of my party. I had the same discos. I had the same venue, well, the evening venue anyway, for the disco. I just rang them up and said, can I move it to such and such a date? And I could. So that didn't have to matter too much. I just had to go and tell everybody who was invited, give them a different invitation, because obviously they could come to the evening do for the wedding then. And there was just one couple we forgot, and they turned up for my 21st birthday party. We didn't know till afterwards, and she'd blamed a partner for getting the date wrong. I was like, no, it was our fault. We forgot to, obviously overlooked them and forgot to cancel it. So yeah, that was the wedding proposal. Nothing romantic, no romantic setting. It was just a corner of a street. We were waiting to cross over. So yeah, that was that. So what else have we got that I can tell you? I was asked a couple of days ago where we were both born and have we lived in many different places. Well, I was born in Staffordshire. Dean was born in Derbyshire. Dean's always lived in Derbyshire. He never ever lived anywhere else as a child, whereas I moved around quite a lot. He always lived in the same house. They did move to a house across the road. So as a child, he was always in the same place. Whereas me, I did move around quite a bit, not out of the Shire, but different place. Oh, I did move out of the Shire eventually as a child. I did cross into Derbyshire, and yeah, but I did move into a lot of different houses around the Shires. I didn't stay in the same house because my dad had jobs to go with houses, you see, or houses to go with jobs, I should say. So that moved us around quite a bit. So yeah, although we didn't move an awful distances, but we weren't always in the same village, and once we did cross shires. So yeah, I moved around, but Dean's always, apart from moving across the road, he'd always been in the same place. He's always been on the same street. So yeah, he didn't go nowhere. And of course, because my dad's family came from Wales, we spent a lot of time in there, and I used to go there when I was a bit bigger. I used to go and spend all my summers and everything there. And like I was saying the other day in my talk, I was telling you about the Pope, I was there in Wales then. So we'd just go when I could go, really, when they'd have me. So yeah, we not sort of lived up and down the country or nothing like that. I haven't lived up and down the country. The furthest places I've ever spent time is in Wales. So yeah, nothing exciting there. So let's have a look what else we've got then. Oh, have I got a bucket list? And if I have, what's on it? No. No. I know some people they sort of write things that they'd like to do in life. I've never ever written a list of all the things I'd like to do in life and cross them off. I just sort of, I'm one of these people, I don't really plan. Well, now I don't do as much, but before I never planned much. I would just appear, or I'd just do something off the cuff. So I never really had a bucket list where I was planning anything. I would just get up and do it. If it took my fancy that day to do something, I'd do it. And I'm like that with everything, even timekeeping. I'm never on time. That's the thing, actually, I can tell you about my wedding. Thinking back to the wedding, when we did get married, the timekeeping was terrible. I never wanted a sit down meal. Maybe even back then I was a little bit nervous, I don't know, but I think because the sole attention would be on me and you're all sat around. So I didn't want a sit down meal. I said to my dad, I don't want to do a sit down meal. I'd rather have the night do, and we'll do everything there. So we went for an afternoon wedding, and it was a 4 o'clock wedding. And I remember, it gave us time in the day because we did our own catering. We bought all our own food, but one of my mum's sisters, my auntie, she owned a butcher's shop, so we had all our fresh meat from there and that. And so we did all our own food. My aunties got together, my mum, my dad, and everything, and doing all that. My dad making sandwiches. One of my aunties caught my dad just putting strips of ham around the edge of the bread, and the middle was empty. So she caught him out doing that, trying to save on ham. And money, no, my dad. So yeah, she made him undo them all again properly. But yeah, when it came to my wedding, everybody got ready. Everybody went off. My dad's friend, he got a nice big fancy Jaguar, and he was driving us. So they went off, took the bridesmaids, and went to the church. And I was left at home just finishing off, getting ready. A neighbour had come in and she was helping me. And I was running late at this time anyway. We'd only sort of got so many minutes to spare type of thing. Luckily, with the last wedding of the day, or the last event happening in the church on that day. And they got to the church anyway. My mum had gone on ahead. And my dad came in, had got the bridesmaids and that, and he went to sit down, and my mum was waiting for these bridesmaids, and my dad went in and went to sit down, and my mum goes, "What are you doing? What about Maria?" We don't go, "Oh, heck." We didn't say yeah, Kathy, he swore. And then him and his mate jumped back in the car to come back and fetch me, because my dad was supposed to be walking me down the aisle. So yeah, by the time we got to the church and got there, I was 20 minutes late. And my whole life has followed that pattern ever since. I'm always late for something. I could either be mega early sometimes or late. I'll just go as it takes me. I'm not a timekeeper. So yeah. So bucket list, no. I've never had a bucket list. Even now, I mean, yeah, there might be things that I'd like to do, but they're not on a bucket list. If I don't do them, I don't do them, sort of thing. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. have I ever been to any concerts or festivals? Well, the vlog that I did the other day about me seeing Pope John Paul, going to mass with him, I'd have probably mentioned it under this, although he's not a concert or a festival, but there was singing there. But I probably would have mentioned it actually under this. But yeah, not a lot of them, but I have been to some. I remember my friend, she was big on the Barron Knights. She enjoyed the Barron Knights, and there was a dinner show going on in Birmingham with the Barron Knights, so she asked if I'd go with her, so I did. I went and saw the Barron Knights. I wasn't really into them, but it was nice just to go and have a dinner, and you know, they had this show. So I went with her and we did that. Sorry, I'm jiggling you around a bit. The light is a nightmare. I wonder if I can move a bit. It's driving me mad because it's flashing and I hate it. I really have got to sort this out. So yeah, I went to see the Barron Knights. That was in Birmingham. I also went to see the Wurzels. That was in Torquay in Devon. I enjoyed that. I did like the Wurzels. So I went there. I was with my mum and dad there. I think one of my uncles was with us as well. Excuse me a minute. And I also went to Cardiff again and saw the Wombles. So yeah, from Cardiff seeing the Pope to Cardiff seeing the Wombles. And I like the Wombles. I like their Christmas song. So yeah, I did do that. Oh, and I've been to the Monsters of Rock in Donington. Seen Ozzy Osbourne there. Well, I've seen other bands there as well. So I've been to the Monsters of Rock. I don't think they do them now. I don't know. But I'm a bit old for it now anyway. So yeah, I used to go there. It's like rock music. So I haven't been to many. I can't think of any others I've been to. Have you been to any concerts, or what's your favourite concerts you've ever been to? Let me know in the comments. What is my most memorable childhood memory? What childhood memory is my most memorable? I don't know. I don't actually know. When I think of my childhood, I suppose if I was just to think off the cuff of my childhood, I tend to think of Christmas times. I tend to think of when I was at primary school and we used to make these logs with full of glitter and that, and you put candles in. I mean, imagine, it's a wonder they never caught fire. You used to slap glue all over them and everything. But making Christmas cards where you had the stampers and covered them in glittery and glue, you know. And I tend to think of my childhood, think of Christmases and think of the things we've had and things we did at Christmas time. I mean, obviously I can remember a few things of my childhood, but if I was just to think off the cuff, yeah, my mind will go straight back to Christmas time. So maybe my childhood Christmases, that's what I remember the best, probably. What else have we got? Do we have any pets? Do we? Too many. Yeah, we've got a dog. We've got 3 cats. We've got 2 guinea pigs. We've got a rabbit. We did have 2 rabbits, but one died. They're Sean's, the guinea pigs and the rabbit. And we've got 4 ducks. We did have chickens last year, but we did have chickens up until last year, but I gave them to a farm because they'd stopped laying. We were going to got some more, but we didn't do. But our ducks are laying at the minute, so we've got plenty of eggs anyway. So yeah, quite a lot. We did have fish, as you can see the fish tanks there, but they all died. I think I told you about that, how we got up one morning and the whole lot were dead. So we don't know what happened. The pump had stopped, so I assume it's something to do with that, but why it stopped, we don't know. So we've never got any more. No, I don't know if he's going to bother getting any more. So yeah, but that's plenty to be going on with, isn't it? Do I have siblings? Yes, I do. I've got 3 brothers. I'm the oldest. And I've got 3 younger brothers. They're not much younger than me. I think they all sort of followed each other. There's a couple of years gap between me and my brother, my first brother, and then they followed each other 1 year after the other. So yeah, there's 4 of us all together, but I'm the only girl. And you know, for saying I'm the only girl, my mum still went through all my brother's names before she got to mine when she was calling me. And I used to say, Mum, how can you forget my name? I'm the only girl. But she still did it all the time. I bet a lot of your mums have done that though, because I've heard of other people saying that, saying, oh, the mums went through every name in the household before they got to them. But me being the only girl, you'd think it would be remembered, wouldn't you? I don't think she ever called my brothers Maria. That's the thing. She probably went for all the boys' names, but she never called them Maria. Whereas me, she went for all the boys' names. Oh dear. So, we'll perhaps just we'll probably do one more question then, because time's ticking on. So, do I prefer the city or the country? I don't know really. I don't know. Once upon a time, when I was young, I'd have preferred the city because I liked night clubbing when I was old enough. And shops, I've always loved shops, even from when I was a child. I liked going around shops. My mum didn't, but I liked shops. So cities would have appealed to me more for the shops and for, as I got older, for the nightlife. But then I also like the country, and I suppose being between years, I like the country. See, I'm lucky because like my families, they come from both. So like my mum's side comes from the country, my dad's side comes from the towns and cities. So I've sort of been used to both. So thinking of a preference, for a good long while I've wanted to go to the country and live in the country in the middle of nowhere. But now again, I'm starting to think, well, I might quite like a city apartment. So I don't know really. I don't know. I suppose it would depend on whereabouts it was. Like some cities you wouldn't want to go to, and maybe you wouldn't want to go right in the middle of nowhere, or maybe you would want to go right in the middle of nowhere. And I don't know really. I think if I was in the countryside, I'd want to be near amenities, like a shop at least. Maybe on a bus route. Maybe. I mean, I've been used to a lot of my life not being on a bus route, having to walk a long way to get buses, and I used to bike everywhere quite a lot. So I think, I don't know, if you knew somebody, if you're in the country but you could bike to a nearest village where you knew somebody, you could leave your bike and perhaps jump on a bus, something like that. I mean, we've got a car now, but that doesn't say we'd always have a car, and I don't drive, only Dean drives. So if something was to happen that Dean couldn't drive, then we'd have to think about public transport, that kind of thing. So I think we wouldn't want to be too far away. And I think, like, as I always think, because of anxiety, I always think, in the countryside, you're on your own, you haven't got to worry about anybody. But I've heard people say that sometimes people are more aware of you in the countryside than in a city, because you can get lost in a city and nobody has got the time or botherance to know who's who. So you could live a more solitary life in the city than what you could in the countryside. So I don't know really whether that's true or not true. I can see the sense in that. Well, yeah, so I don't really know which I prefer. I think I would have to sort of go and sample each and see what I thought. So yeah, I don't really know. So at the moment I live in a village, so I'm sort of a village in a countryside, but you've got amenities, so it's all right. You've got the best of both worlds kind of thing, but I'm not near any cities or nothing like that. Certainly not near any nightlife or anything like that. So yeah, maybe I just prefer the village then, village life. So yeah, we'll leave it at that today, because we've done over 20 minutes now, so I'd like to try and sort of not have too much. I won't have nothing left for another day and I'll bore you silly. So yeah, there's plenty of good things there. So let me know in the comments below what you would answer to some of them questions about yourself and whatnot. And have any of you got any unusual marriage proposals or anything, or did you have a really romantic one, for those of you that are married or have been married? So yeah, that'd be interesting. So thank you for watching, and I'll be with you now hopefully on Monday, and Dean will do another sandwich challenge on Monday. He's got an idea what he's doing, and one of them ideas I'm thinking already, oh. So we'll see that on Monday, and if it doesn't change, we'll be doing that on Monday. So until then, take care of yourselves, everybody. Have a lovely weekend, and thank you for watching. Bye.